Tin Hut. Hi guys, General Splatton here. Got a quick review of a primer for metal miniatures and figures that I want to share with you. It is Dupli-Color Self-Etching Primer. This is a car body primer for automobiles. So it's designed for metal. The good thing about this is that this is designed for harder metals for car bodies, and so with our softer metal that we have in our figures, this can really be beneficial to you. It's self-etching, meaning that it scores the metal and etches itself into the metal. So it has a acidic type function with this primer. In other words, it just doesn't lay on the top; it embeds itself into the metal. And it really works with our softer miniatures that we paint on. Really like this stuff. It's a great product. It really does what it says. It does lay down and etch itself into the metal of the model and works really well. One thing I do want to tell you about though is this has got one of these easy flow nozzles, so it's supposed to take like 50% less pressure to spray out the primer. And that's really true. And also it's got this fan nozzle, and so a lot comes out. I mean, you get a real thorough coat right off the bat. So when you're priming, you don't want to start on the model. You start to the side and then draw the primer back over the model, because you might get some puddling and pooling if you don't, because of so much coming out. So you want to be mindful of that. So you start from the side and then draw it back over the model. Never start on the model spraying it. Very even flow, very thorough coating. Like I said, a pretty good little bit comes out, far more than what you would have coming out of just a regular spray nozzle. And by the way, your metal models will never rust because it's corrosion resistant. Just thought I'd throw that in there. This particular color is green. This is the only one they had. I went to an auto parts store. I'm sure it probably comes in other colors, possibly white, but I bet they have a gray of it at least, and black as well. But for some reason this just came in green, but that wasn't really a problem for me. What I did was I've painted straight over the green, and I've also taken another primer, a white primer that I like to use as my base, and just primed over the Dupli-Color primer. Worked great. Just do light coats and no loss of detail, even coverage, and it does a really neat job. Now, if you wanted to get the green, I mean, blue paints over it beautifully. I mean, it does one coat coverage really, even on a paint that's not a one coat type foundation paint or high definition paint like for Reaper. The metallics go on it really well, as you see there. This is a bone type color. There's a brown. You know how red is, so red doesn't cover anything once. So that's just kind of a watered down red thrown right over it sloppily. Here's a bright green, same way. To give you a little idea, I have tested out a gloss clear on this after I primed it and painted it, so that's why it's so shiny. I mean, this is going to be a dull primer. Like I said, it's got a clear coat on it because I was testing another product out. But no loss of detail, as you see there. Even uniform coverage. Any imperfections you see is because of the metal piece that I used. I tried to rub this off, deliberately, especially on these spikes, sitting here and just doing my finger back and forth. And there is a little rub off. It's not perfect. And also I took my finger and sat here and done on like this for a long time. And no rub off there. That metal is from the paint that I used to see what it would do with metallics, and right in there, metallics. So there is a slight piece of rub off right there, but like I said, you handle your models, you're going to handle them delicately. I wasn't doing it with this. I was trying to see how durable this stuff was, and even sitting there abusing it for a while, just a little bit right there on the tips of these spikes. So it's very durable, very wear resistant. I really like this stuff. Now, question for you guys: if anybody knows or has ever used spray polyurethane on models, especially from metal models, I'd like to know about it. I'm trying to find a good gloss clear coat that's really, really hard. So my next step is going with a spray polyurethane. I figure that's about the hardest stuff I'm going to be able to find. And so if anybody's ever tried any of that, please let me know. If there's any yellowing or any interaction with the acrylic paints that we use. Or if you got something that, like I said, I'm trying to find a real hard adhesive primer, and this is it. So I've got that covered. Now I got to find a real hard gloss coat. So like I said, polyurethane I think is the next way I'm going. But this Dupli-Color is an excellent product. I highly recommend it. It worked really, really great, and I think you'll be happy with it too, especially if you can find it in a color of primer that you like. So I want to throw that out there to you. It's a good product. And I also want to mention that I have my other channel, Splatting Studios, where I have my painting service. So if any of you guys need any models painted up or would like to talk to me about painting your models, please shoot me a personal message through either Splatting Studios or through General Splatting channel here, and I'd love to talk to you about it. Still got plenty of spaces open for the near future, so encourage you to do that. I'll take on practically anything now. If you got an army, you got a big unit, single miniature, tanks, I'd love to do some tanks, or dreadnoughts, things of that nature, drop pods, whatever. Let me know. I'd love to talk to you about it. Well, that's the review. Dupli-Color Self-Etching Primer. Really great product. Really, really pleased with it. Well, if you have any questions, let me know. This is General Splatting. I'll talk again. Dismissed.